Hello and welcome to Dario's comic school. And today the video is called follow your passion, but know this before. I'm kind of fixing the camera position. Why do I make this video? This video was not planned. I was about to review Lone Wolf and Cup, and I will in a second, and you can see in the background a painting I'm making. But let's talk about passion. The last days I kind of found or kind of came over a video by Cal Newport, and he has a book that's called how's it called? Be So Good They Can't Ignore You. And that's really great advice, and that advice came from an actor, and his name is Steve Martin, and everybody wanted to have advice from him back in the 90s when he was really famous, and the only advice he gave me was be so good they cannot ignore you. And then there's a book by Cal Newport on that, and it's probably a really good book. I haven't read it. I have just browsed over it, and I don't need to read it. It's always the same points. And also Dave Grohl, when he was drumming, his best advice was be the best at what you bring the party, be the best you can be. And Cal Newport stresses don't follow your passion, become a craftsman. And that is kind of true, but let's set things right. And also a lot of people say don't follow your passion, follow your purpose, and that's also kind of right, because and then we gotta get to the core why we're trying to fix things very late in the game, instead of addressing the root causes for this fucking mess. So, you can draw, you can sing, you have a passion, you have an entrepreneurial mindset, you don't want to go to work your 9-to-5 job, and that's all okay. We've all been there, and it's not really that simple, and maybe it is, okay. But let's break it down to really simple step. Should you follow, fuck that should you follow. I tell you what I believe. I believe that you and I were put here on this plane of existence for a reason, for very selfish reasons. The reason is this: you should be happy and I should be happy, and we should try to find that happiness, and in the end this happiness will come from not pleasing others, because you would always try to please other people, and you will probably not be in your own power and left dissatisfied. And I believe that you're put here on this earth to bring more light to this place. Like everybody knows, war is bad, famine is bad, being unhealthy is bad, and so on. Still, we wake up, who knows what trash we're eating the whole day, our whole life, and where that will lead us. Maybe it will clog up our arteries, our hearts, our minds, and it will break us, just like that. And so, the way of the samurai, the way of the people, the way of the world, it's always trying to corrupt you. Because and I have to set things straight. It's not that the world is bad. It's not that people are bad. It's not that it's all chaos. It's a bit more simpler and complicated than that. This is a very rambly video. But let's get to that. Like, people are not inherently bad. If you look at a child, at a baby, at a young child, I've not seen an evil child in my life. Maybe they exist, but maybe they're the rarity. Like, let's say that most people are good people and they want to do good things. So, if it's not the people that are bad, so what is bad? I would say that sometimes power. It's also in this book, because like here the sword master kind of does his own thing. He was the prime sword master of the shogun, but then one day he says no more, and so he doesn't work for the, I don't know, the king, the Caesar of Japan, and they want him to kill himself, and that's the honorable thing, and he doesn't. And this is why this video will be called Do Follow Your Purpose, but Know This Before, and I Am a Vengeance. Why? I think you are put on this planet for a very specific reason. The reason is this: to bring more light into this world, to bring more honesty into this world. Because when I was young, I had dermatitis, and it fucked up my whole life. And it wasn't necessary, because it came from the food I was eating. So, does this illness exist? I would say it doesn't exist. It's a thing of our industrial society. And our industrial Western society in this time, every time has its challenges. This time had its challenges. The future will have the Mad Max challenges, or what do I know, maybe the Terminator 2 challenges, and we have ours. But we cannot comply to lies. We must find the truth. And in order to do that, we need to still maintain a certain balance. Do I give you the advice to drop out of your 9 to 5 and pursue comics? Probably not. Let's come back to the problems. I'm now 37 and I'm painting pictures. I'm doing comics. I started a movie channel. I will mention that in the next video. And yeah, but you can see there is some artistic power. I do music, and another thing, I am kind of spiritual, but I'm also very gangster and down to earth. And I'm very tribal, and I don't want to harm the world. I want to see the world in better shape. I want to see people more happy, more honest. And when you're born to parents that they themselves are trying to figure out life, to get money in, roof over your head, food on the table. Who knows from what parents or traumatized backgrounds they are coming. They're just living life and trying to figure out how they want to do it. And then you get born, and then you come into this world, and you're trying to make your thing, and then you go to school, and then you wake up, and you go there, and you go to the whole shebang. And they say it's all for you, it's all for your best, but it's kind of not, and it kind of is, because it's good that I can speak English. I learned that kind of in school, but then kind of by watching just TV shows, and it's not that good, but at least I can communicate what I'm thinking. And then I watched a lot of YouTube, and so I learned by osmosis. But yeah, you just show up in school, if you want or not. Some of it is good, some of it is not good. But it's not like school, a good society, a good brain would see what can you do best, where can you do the most damage, the most benefit, and then they would put you there. And I think, and I feel, and I probably sense that if I could make these paintings really good, and if I could make really good comics, and if I figured out marketing and a lot, you can see it's a lot of things that you need to know. Like, it is a craft that you gotta learn, but it's also a deep craft. It goes a bit wide horizontally, it goes a bit vertically. You need to know a bunch of stuff. You need to be good with people. You need to speak, communicate, draw, and I need to be all that so that I can make a living. And that's a lot of skills that weren't told in school. And so after school, let's say you're 20 years old, you used to play soccer, or you were a skinny fat kid. When I was young, I had man boobs, I had dermatitis. My father died when I was young. My mother was overprotected. And and then we were not kind of on the poor side. So a lot of stuff I didn't do, a lot of stuff I didn't experience, a lot of stuff I didn't develop. So then you're 20 and everybody starts working, everybody starts making families, going places. And I was just still a stupid kid. And then I'm 30, like from 20 to 30, I reversed all that. I healed my dermatitis. I went out with girls. I went to the movie school I wanted to go. I wanted to comic school, but there was none. So I'm building that. And you become vengeance. You become the person. You become the change you want to be in this world. And I'm saying this in a very idealistic way, and it is. And at the same time, you have to have a foot in this world and try to make things work out. You need money, you need friends. Sometimes you need loneliness, and sometimes the things, your shortcomings, are maybe your superpowers. I guess I will end this video right now because I don't need to ramble on any longer, but you need to know, to make it in this life, or to make a good life, you need to know who you are, what you're good at, and how you can give that to the world. And your wound will be your womb. And you gotta get good at communicating or delivering that skill and hopefully taking money for it. But the whole system, maybe for a good reason, is set up that you get sidetracked, corrupted, Chuck Norris fisted, and Charles Bukowski said, you gotta die a few times before you can live. Maybe it is that way. Maybe that's the game we play. Maybe that's the fun of it. Maybe it's not. See ya.